They claimed I was having an affair, laughing, "Their marriage is a shame." I ignored them until they were exposed for cheating on their own partner. Humiliated, they cried, "Don't ruin my life." I replied coldly, "You tried to ruin mine." Their desperation was deliciously satisfying. I never thought my life would become the center of neighborhood gossip. My husband, Mark, and I had built a peaceful life in Mount Pleasant, a suburb just across the Cooper River from Charleston, South Carolina. Our days were filled with work, weekend barbecues, and the occasional dinner with friends. Among those friends were our neighbors, Tom and Lisa Peterson. We shared countless meals, celebrated holidays together, and often helped each other with household projects. Our bond felt unbreakable. One sunny afternoon, as I was tending to my garden, Lisa approached me with a concerned look. "Hey," she began hesitantly. "Can we talk for a minute?" "Of course," I replied, wiping my hands on my jeans. "What's on your mind?" She glanced around, as if ensuring no one else could hear. "I heard something at the community center today. Some of the ladies were saying they've seen you around town with another man." I stared at her, stunned. "What? That's absurd. Who would say such a thing?" Lisa sighed. "I don't know, but it's becoming the talk of the neighborhood." I felt a mix of anger and confusion. "Lisa, you know me. There's no truth to this." She nodded slowly. "I believe you. But maybe you should address it before it gets out of hand." That evening, I told Mark about the conversation. "Who would spread such lies?" he asked, clearly upset. "I don't know," I admitted. "But we need to find out." Over the next few days, I noticed the subtle changes. Neighbors who once waved enthusiastically now offered tight-lipped smiles. Conversations would hush when I entered a room. The weight of the rumors pressed heavily on me. Determined to uncover the source, I started paying closer attention. It didn't take long to trace the whispers back to Tom and Lisa. The realization was heartbreaking. The couple we considered family were the ones tarnishing my reputation. I decided to confront them. One evening, I invited them over for dinner. As we sat around the table, I broached the subject. "I've been hearing some unsettling things," I began, looking directly at them. "Rumors about me. And I've come to learn they started with you." Tom shifted uncomfortably in his seat. "We thought we saw you with someone," he mumbled. Lisa added quickly, "It was a misunderstanding. We didn't mean for it to escalate." "A misunderstanding?" I echoed, my voice rising. "Do you realize the damage you've done? My reputation is in shambles." Mark placed a calming hand on mine. "We trusted you," he said to them. "Why would you do this?" Tom looked down, avoiding our gaze. "We truly thought we saw something. We're sorry. But apologies couldn't undo the harm. The trust was broken." After that night, we distanced ourselves from the Petersons, focusing on rebuilding our lives and mending the fractures caused by their betrayal. Months passed, and the rumors began to fade. Life slowly returned to normal. Then, one evening, Mark came home with unexpected news. "You won't believe this," he said, setting down his briefcase. "Tom is having an affair." I looked up from my book, surprised. "What? With who?" "One of my colleagues saw him at Fleet Landing restaurant downtown, getting cozy with a woman who definitely wasn't Lisa." The irony was palpable. The couple who had falsely accused me were hiding their own secrets. "Does Lisa know?" I asked. Mark shrugged. "I don't think so." I wrestled with the information. Part of me felt vindicated. Another part felt sorry for Lisa. Despite everything, I didn't wish this pain on her. A few weeks later, there was a knock at my door. I opened it to find Lisa, tears streaming down her face. "I just found out," she sobbed. "Tom's been cheating on me." I led her inside, offering her a tissue. "I'm so sorry, Lisa." She looked at me, desperation in her eyes. "Please, don't tell anyone. I can't handle the humiliation." I met her gaze, memories of the past months flooding back. "You tried to ruin my life with false accusations," I said softly. "Now you're asking for my silence?" She flinched, realizing the weight of her actions. "I was wrong. I see that now. Please, don't ruin my life." I took a deep breath, choosing my words carefully. Your actions have consequences, Lisa. It's not my place to expose you, but I won't protect you either. She nodded, understanding. As she left, I felt a sense of closure. The satisfaction wasn't in her downfall, but in knowing that truth had a way of revealing itself. And as for me, I had weathered the storm and come out stronger on the other side. Lisa didn't come around for a while after that day. She avoided eye contact whenever I saw her out walking the dog or picking up her mail. But something told me this wasn't over. When people are desperate, they don't stay quiet for long. 3 weeks later, Mark came home from work looking like he'd been hit by a truck. "You need to sit down," he said. "Something's going on." I sat, heart already pounding. "What happened?" He dropped a folded paper on the table. "HR called me in today. Someone sent an anonymous email to my company accusing me of having an affair." "What?" "Yeah. Said I've been sleeping with someone from my office. They even named a woman. Cheryl. I barely speak to her outside meetings." I was speechless. My throat went dry. "They're opening an investigation," he added. "Cheryl's pissed. She's married too. This could ruin both our careers." My blood ran cold. There was no doubt in my mind. This had Lisa written all over it. It made no sense at first. Why go after Mark? Then it clicked. She was trying to flip the story. Make it look like we deserved the rumors. Maybe she thought if we looked guilty, she'd feel less humiliated. "Mark," I said slowly. "She's coming for us." He leaned back in his chair. "I don't get it. We didn't do anything to her." I looked at him. "We didn't need to." The truth hurt her more than any lie. I knew I had to do something. Letting her run around spreading lies wasn't an option anymore. So I started digging. Quietly. Carefully. Charleston isn't a huge city. People talk. I started with a friend who worked at the same real estate office Lisa used to work at. She'd quit a few months ago, right after the affair came to light. She didn't quit, my friend said over coffee one morning. She was fired. They found out she was forging client signatures to push through faster deals. My eyes widened. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. Her license is under review now. They're keeping it quiet for now, but it'll come out." That was just the start. I found out the woman Tom had been cheating with? Not just a fling. She was pregnant. And Tom? He wasn't planning to stay with Lisa. He'd already moved into a short-term rental downtown. Lisa was spiraling, and I had the proof. But I didn't want to go public with it yet. I wanted her to know that I knew. That I was watching. That every step she took, I was 10 steps ahead. So I mailed her a plain envelope. No note. No name. Just printed copies of her termination letter and a screenshot of a Facebook post Tom's new girlfriend had made, ultrasound photo and all, captioned, "Little Bean coming January." The next day, I saw Lisa in her front yard, staring at the mailbox like it had punched her in the gut. Her face was pale. Her hands were shaking. And then, things got worse. One night, around 11 p.m., we heard a loud crash. Our mailbox had been torn out of the ground, ripped up, bent sideways, completely mangled. Mark and I stepped out onto the porch just in time to see Lisa speeding away in her car. "Should we call the cops?" he asked. I was tempted. But something told me she'd only escalate. I shook my head. Not yet. The next morning, I filed for a new mailbox and also installed a motion-activated camera pointed right at it. 2 nights later, she came back. This time, she didn't touch the mailbox. She just stood there in the dark, staring at our house, motionless, arms crossed, like she was daring us to confront her. The camera caught everything. I made sure the footage was backed up and time-stamped. Things in the neighborhood started to shift again. People noticed the damaged mailbox. They noticed Lisa acting strange. I didn't say a word. But I didn't need to. Then I got a letter in the mail from a law office. Lisa was threatening to sue us for defamation and emotional distress. Mark laughed when he read it. "She's seriously trying this?" I wasn't laughing. I was livid. This woman started a rumor that nearly wrecked my marriage. Tried to get my husband fired. Lied about us. Damaged our property. And now she wanted to act like she was the victim? No, absolutely not. I opened my laptop and started organizing everything. Emails, texts, the video of her standing outside our house, the destruction of our mailbox, the letter from her former job, even the anonymous email to Mark's office because I traced the IP address with a tech-savvy friend's help. Every piece of it was ready. I didn't just want to defend myself anymore. I wanted the truth out. All of it. And once it was, she'd finally know what it felt like to be the one everyone's whispering about. But this time, the whispers would be real. Lisa's lawsuit threat didn't go away. A week after we got the letter, Mark got a formal notice from a local mediator asking if we'd be willing to discuss the issue privately to avoid litigation. My hands were shaking when I read it. This wasn't just rumors anymore. Lisa was pushing to take us into an actual legal battle. She's bluffing, Mark said, but I wasn't so sure. What if she was working some angle? What if she was trying to draw attention away from her own mess? I had enough evidence to destroy her credibility, but we weren't in court yet, and the longer this dragged out, the more it cost us emotionally. But here's where it started getting weird. A few days before the mediation meeting, I got a call from an unknown number. Hello? Silence. Then a woman's voice, quiet, shaky. I need to talk to you. I can't do this anymore. Who is this? Her name's not Lisa. Not legally, not originally. I froze. What are you talking about? She's been going by Lisa Peterson since she married Tom. But that's not her real name. She changed it years ago. The woman on the other end told me she was Lisa's half-sister. They hadn't spoken in nearly a decade. She'd seen my name in some online post related to the local gossip group and had to reach out. She has a pattern, she said. You're not the first. That night, I didn't sleep. I went digging again, this time deeper. I checked public court records, archives from out-of-state counties. Took me 2 days, but there it was. Lisa's real name was Melissa Jean Ralston. She'd legally changed it before moving to South Carolina. She'd also been involved in a civil suit in Florida years ago, accused of defamation and harassment by a former coworker. It was the same story. Rumors, destruction of property, manipulating personal relationships. She had done this before, but it got worse. While I was still processing that bombshell, Mark's company called again. HR had completed their investigation. They confirmed there was no evidence of an affair, and Cheryl had filed a formal complaint against the anonymous email demanding a full report. The IT department traced the email to a hotel Wi-Fi network in downtown Charleston, the same area where Lisa had booked a room during the time she claimed she was staying with her sister after Tom moved out. I forwarded everything to our lawyer. The moment he saw the Florida records and the email trace, he scheduled an immediate motion to counterclaim for harassment and malicious prosecution. Lisa had no idea yet. She was still walking around the neighborhood with her head high, pretending she was the wronged one. But then came the real twist. I was at the grocery store when I bumped into Tom. He looked rough, unshaven, tired, like he hadn't slept in days. Hey, he said awkwardly. Hi. I heard she's suing you guys. I didn't know she'd actually go that far. You're still married to her. He laughed bitterly. Not for long. We're finalizing the divorce. But that's not why I'm telling you this. What then? He looked around, lowered his voice. She's not pregnant. I blinked. What? She told everyone she was pregnant because she thought I'd come back. But it was a lie. That ultrasound she posted? Stolen from someone else's profile. She photoshopped her name on it. I couldn't believe it. Tom continued. Her new boyfriend found out and dumped her. That's why she snapped. Why she went after you again. It was like my brain short-circuited. How deep did this madness go? I went home and pulled up the post again. Took a screenshot, reverse-searched the image. Sure enough, it belonged to a woman in Oregon who had posted it to her personal blog. Same exact photo, same timestamp, months earlier. Lisa had faked everything. The fake affair rumors. The attack on our careers. The pregnancy. Even her name. And now she was trying to drag us into court? I stared at my files, the printed screenshots, the email traces, the photos, the court history. The web was wider than I thought. And somehow it was all connected. But the best part? She didn't know I knew any of it. And when the day of mediation came, she walked into that room wearing a smug grin like she already won. I smiled back, because she had no idea what was coming. Lisa walked into the mediator's office like she was walking into a photo shoot. High heels, perfect makeup, folder in hand. She glanced at me, gave a smug half-smile, and sat down across from me and Mark. The mediator, a calm, older woman, explained how this would go. We'd all have a chance to speak, lay out facts, and hopefully resolve things without court. Lisa went first. Of course she did. She spoke in that fake sweet voice like she was a kindergarten teacher. "This has been very hard for me," she began. "My name has been dragged through the mud. Lies were spread about me. I've been harassed in my own home." Mark crossed his arms. I stayed quiet, watching her closely. "They've shared private things about me," she went on, "and tried to turn the neighborhood against me. I've lost my husband, my job, my reputation." The mediator raised her hand. "Thank you. Now let's hear the response." I didn't even look at Lisa. I pulled out my folder, thick and heavy with truth. First, I laid out the email evidence that she sent the anonymous tip to Mark's work, traced to a hotel in Charleston. We had timestamps, IP addresses, confirmation from Mark's HR department. Lisa's fake comms started to crack. Next, I handed over the Florida civil case documents. This is her history. Her real name is Melissa Jean Ralston. She's changed her name before. She's done this before. Lisa's eyes went wide. "That's a lie." I ignored her. "Here's the video of her destroying our mailbox." I passed the flash drive to the mediator. Caught on camera. 2 nights after we got the first lawsuit threat. Lisa was starting to shake. Then came the ultrasound photo. I laid it gently on the table. "She posted this, said she was pregnant. Claimed the father was my neighbor's husband, Tom. This is stolen. Found it on a blog in Oregon. The baby isn't real. She lied to everyone." Silence. Then I turned to face her. "You tried to ruin my life with lies. You almost got my husband fired. You accused me of things I never did. All because you got caught cheating and couldn't handle the fallout." Lisa opened her mouth, but nothing came out. The mediator leaned forward. "Ms. Ralston, do you want to respond?" She stammered. "They're framing me. They must have hacked me." "Stop," I said. "Just stop. We're not stupid. You did this. All of it." And then Mark dropped the final blow. "We're filing a counterclaim," he said calmly, "for harassment, defamation, and damages. And we've already submitted everything to the police. This isn't just civil anymore. You crossed a line." Lisa went pale, like someone had drained all the blood out of her. The mediator ended the session early. "This isn't going to be settled here," she said. "We're done for today." Lisa stormed out, slamming the door so hard it rattled the wall. Later that week, we filed our case. Mark's company officially cleared his name, and Cheryl filed her own suit against Lisa for dragging her into the mess. The stolen ultrasound was reported to Facebook and taken down. The woman from Oregon even emailed me, thanking me for alerting her. But the big moment came 2 months later when Melissa, was arrested. Charges: harassment, filing a false claim, property damage, impersonation, and more. Her mugshot hit the local news. People who had once whispered about me were now talking about her. Everything flipped. The whispers I used to hear when I walked past people, now they were whispers about her. And then came the trial. She pled not guilty at first. But once her sister came forward to testify, it was over. She cracked. Took a plea deal. Got probation, fines, and mandatory counseling. We didn't walk out rich, but we walked out clean. Cleared. Free. And her? Her name was ruined. Her marriage gone. Her job history destroyed. The neighborhood cut her off. She had to move, far away. Last I heard, she was living with a cousin in some tiny apartment outside Columbia, working under a fake name again. But no name change could erase what she did. You can't hide forever when the truth catches up. As for me, I learned something too. I should have spoken up sooner. I should have fought back right away instead of staying quiet when the rumors started. That silence gave her space to grow more bold. But not anymore. Now, if someone tries to twist my life into lies, I don't stay silent. I don't hide. I let the truth speak louder and sharper than anything they can throw. Vengeance doesn't always look like fire and fury. Sometimes it looks like cold facts and a quiet courtroom. And the moment they say, "Don't ruin my life," with tears in their eyes, I remember the way they laughed while trying to ruin mine. And I say it calmly, without blinking, "You did that all by yourself."